Hold on. That. Go back. Turn this down a little bit.
Over the moon.
Are you happy with yourself?
Over the moon. Ecstatic with myself.
Their armor was the
Hi,
same
Elliot.
with a color difference. There was a mission where we told you to go kill slicer supplies. That was the exact same when we told you to go kill frontier fighter supplies.
The data pads I placed around Stanton as well, telling you, giving you hints that maybe something was going on. I think this is a great kind of PSA.
What data pads? What data pads? I didn't find any data pads. I have questions. I didn't find any data pads. Anyways, new Inside Star Citizen dropped today, February 27th, 2025. I saw no data pads. I'll give him this. The bait and switch on the Frontier Fighters was pretty good. I didn't know. I didn't see through it. But I still did the Frontier Fighters because I didn't want to move a bunch of boxes around for CFP, even though I would have been more happy to get the red and black paints. But it is what it is. But the Frontier Fighters being the splicers, I'll give them that. That was pretty good.
Say to read your contracts from now on. Maybe I hid them a little too well.
A little bit.
Sorry.
No, you're not. Lies.
By now, you will have realized that the Frontier Fighters weren't exactly who they said they were.
Uh-huh.
Or, in other cases, they were exactly who they said they were.
That's fair.
Frontier Fighters were specifically designed to show players that we can mess with their morals via this narrative storytelling.
Frontier Fighters were
People have morals in a video game? Okay.
the ones who staged the attack on Stanton, posing as slicers to cause an uproar about Pyro, to stage a war on Pyro, to get rid of the criminal gangs that are there.
It was a band of mercenaries led by...
Look, if you've never played the game, you don't know how funny this is.
War on Pyro, to get rid of the criminal gangs that are there.
Point blank with an FS9.
It was a band of mercenaries led by a woman called Amelia who wanted to start an attack in Stanton to drum up hate for Pyro so that she could get the backing of regular people to go and attack Pyro.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but I didn't even know who Amelia was until I watched a Salty Mike React video. No clue who Amelia was. I don't remember seeing any data pads. Probably also at the same time was looking for red lettered envelopes. Still don't remember seeing any data pads. Still don't remember seeing any data pads that had any information on them. Like anywhere. And I run all the bunker missions, primarily doing FPS combat, but all the bunker missions in and out of, I don't know. It was, I don't know. I don't remember seeing any data pads.
But that also included civilians, and that also included gangs who had no interest in threatening Stanton at all.
Love that
This was a
helmet.
false flag operation.
Yes, this was a false flag operation.
You think?
And you fell for it. You fell for it.
They fell for it.
They fell
but
for it.
you named it Maniac after yourself.
I didn't do that. Haddock did that.
So our next chapter in March is called Supply or Die. This is split into 3 parts of the event. This is where the CFP and the Headhunters are coming off half the heels of the invasion of the Frontier Fighters, and they're trying to resupply and rebuild to continue the efforts of attacking the Frontier Fighters. This event is essentially a one-shot. You have to play it in March, and when the next patch drops after that, you won't be able to play it again or earn the rewards. With this narrative arc that we're doing for the rest of this year, we're really trying to build these.
Who is going to use the Animus missile launcher that close and not get any backsplash? By the way, that dust up helmet in the bottom right-hand corner, that one, I kind of want that. Not to squirrel away, but I kind of want that. Oh, that's cool. Anyways, let me back up.
Rest of this year, we're really trying to build these moments in our history where you as the player will come in and experience it, and then if you was here for it, great. But if you wasn't, you've missed out.
For this event, there are 6 new locations that we built, 1 on each of the major planets in Pyro. These locations are discoverable by quantum marker, and at these locations you will find these outlaw depots. The difference between an outpost and a depot is that an outpost is generally a lot larger in size. There's various things to do at an outpost. It's like a little community that kind of is in one way or another self-sufficient. A depot is really just an offshoot storage location. So in that sense, it doesn't have all the amenities for a local population or for the player as well. It's more of like an offshoot location in that sense.
The depots see the return of the scavengers, the circus, essentially, that was introduced with the ghost arenas.
So this is not a faction we've seen much about, but it's a faction that we can identify by green text and spray paints on the buildings.
So as you go around the environment, you'll see that they've tagged it, and they'll be saying, you can get big money here, and go here, and go here, this is where you buy it. Look out here, take cover here. The location is one that they've taken over, and they've added their unique twist to.
The outlaw depots, I think, are really cool from a player perspective through the way that it's a location that is really built for the interaction. It provides a lot of cover. It's located in a more convenient, accessible way. It has very clear, distinct sections, so that helps hopefully as well for the players to kind of call out where the different people are coming from or where they are located. So it's a high-risk, high-reward location that is really built for PvP. There is an initial population at the location, so if you're the first there to show up, you might be a little bit careful. If you're gonna land in the middle, might be...
Okay. Should probably let him finish, but given that that particular bomb is coming from an A1, and I have personally shot one of those from about the same distance that one is from landing to this player. And
careful if you're going.
Granted, this is probably a dev, playing it, and they probably have God mode on, but that would have instant killed any player in the area. Obviously within a diameter, yada, 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 but that would have killed any player in the area. I get it. It's for marketing purposes, but okay.
Gonna land in the middle, might be a little bit hot, but that's the right challenge that we're trying to provide for you guys.
Can we not tell a story through the mobiGlass again?
One of the first missions requires you to get a commodity called Datatrine, and there's a mission for CFP and Headhunters. This commodity requires you to go to these depots where you have to invest your own money to get this Datatrine and return it to either faction that you decided to go with. Datatrine is a rare plant that they can refine, so the CFP can use it for medical purposes, and the Headhunters can use it for more fun purposes.
Elliot
drugs.
came over to the economy area and said, hey, I've got some new missions we're building, and they're a little bit different from some we've done before. So we worked together to come up with a fairly new reward structure specifically for these new missions.
The idea as well is that if you've completed this mission series and you've got your reward, you can just keep going. You can sell these commodities in the sandbox world and get quite a big profit margin. But again, your risk is you have to put up your own money, put in your own time, and risk your own life.
Okay.
For the mining mission, again, both factions will require you to get 2 commodities. So they require you to get ice, which can be found on the extremities of the Pyro solar system, so as far out from the sun as you can where it gets colder. Or tin, which is found closer to the sun, that can be stolen, bought, or mined and refined yourself. However you wish to get these, they don't care, they just want the commodity. And then you'll have a destination where you're asked to drop them off. And last is the salvage mission. The salvage mission is asking for RMC, so that's hull scraping, or construction materials, so that's the actual structural salvage part where you have to fracture the ship. And again, both factions are asking for it and they both have their own drop-off points. How you get the salvage is, again, up to you. You can kill ships and harvest their corpse. You could accept the salvage missions and use those ships. Or you could just fly about and attempt to find the salvage panels. The event is both PvP and PvE. It takes place in Pyro, so you've always got to have your wits about you. The Detatrine one that takes place at the outposts will have more of a PvP element.
How do you not see the light flashing around you? It's a flashlight. It's on you. How do you not see that? Anyways.
Because it's going to have more reward for people who are PvPing. The mining and salvage one are introduced for more industrial players, more PvE. There's not much you really need to do here PvP-wise, but again, you're in Pyro, keep your wits about you, because you never know who's going to turn up.
The thing that's unusual about these missions is that they're designed to encourage group play. There's nothing stopping you doing it solo. You can absolutely do it solo, although obviously in Pyro you have to take appropriate precautions if you're playing solo. But each of these missions, if you can get together a group of friends to help out, you will probably find that it will be more successful.
Did you unfix that terrible fix that you did last patch?
The initial design of EVR has been fairly successful, but it definitely has areas it needs to be improved with, and one of those areas is enabling group play instead of suppressing group play. And the design intention is to move away from reward splitting. So with that in mind, we're taking steps towards that, and these missions and the way that the rewards are structured for these missions is a good indication of that design intention.
So with all this, the mission reward system is changing, right?
The rewards that you will get will scale with the size of the group that we expect for each mission. So the small missions are designed for solo players, the medium missions are designed for around 4 to 5 to 6 players, and the large missions are designed for 10 and above players. And in subsequent patches, the rewards will scale dynamically to the group that you have. And depending on the mission type that you're doing, whether it's the salvage or the mining or the Detatrine, your rewards will scale accordingly. Bear in mind that for the Detatrine missions, you have to put up the money to buy the commodity, and you will be rewarded enough to compensate you for what you've bought and a little bit extra. The other thing to bear in mind is that all of these missions have a secondary reward mechanic, which is that you are working to get tickets so that you can get the unique rewards, which you can only get during this mission, during this month, and then they will never be offered again.
It's like the redemption at Chuck E. Cheese.
I don't understand the reference, but okay.
I was just going to say, with all due respect, I sincerely doubt an Englishman is going to understand a Chuck E. Cheese reference, Jared. I understood the reference. Obvious reasons. Still don't like the fact that they're not wanting to do sharing of missions in terms of the rewards. I can understand somewhat to a point that if you have multiple players and they're not at the same level of rep that are able to get the same missions on their own, not being able to share those. I can understand that because Oh, there's a word for it, and I'm blanking on it right now. But anyways, but for missions like this that are one shot, one time only, you should be able to share, and the reward should be able to be split 50-50. You got 2 players, 33 across if you've got 3, so on and so forth. It should be able to be split properly. Anyways.
I'm an American lost in Britain.
Why does this matter? With our plans for this whole year of more of a content-driven releases and more of a narrative storyline, as Dave previously talked about with the A and B stories, the idea is that these missions will tie into that. The side that you choose to work with will have a lasting impact. The choices you make will define the universe that you live in. And the really cool thing about Supply or Die is because of the 3 different mission types we offer you, you can get all of the...
Hold up. So those are the paints that'll be part of the reward. So that's a Fortune, Prospector, and Vulture. Interesting. All industrial ships. So if you do just the industrial side, you're going to get those paints. I mean, I only have a Vulture, and I have no interest in getting a Prospector or a Fortune. But okay.
We offer you, different mission types we offer you, you can get all of the rewards without ever firing a shot.
Oh, that is a hangar decoration. I actually don't mind that. But until persistence is actually persistence, I'm not going to spend the time decorating a hangar. Especially on the fact that right now we have no way of getting back account-bound items if we lost. I want to use the P8AR more often, but I have the 2 from the goodies pack from CitizenCon, but I don't use them because they're the only 2 they have. However, I do know that in 402 they have been added to the loot pool. Not sure on the rarity of them, but you know, you go to jump down locations, you can get P6 sniper rifles. Assuming you're not behind somebody else who's already looted it within whatever time frame that is, but jump down locations, you can get a lot of P6s that way. P6 is still spawning red loot boxes and bunker missions. I spend, you know, most of my time in Stanton, but at the same time, you can still find a bunch of them relatively easily, in my opinion. Red loot boxes are a little bit more rarity, but if you get to a jump down location and it hasn't been looted in a while, you can find anywhere from 2 to 3 upwards of... I did one jump down run in a single location, and I walked away with 12 P6 sniper rifles. They're still available here and there. That being said, I don't mind this hangar decoration, but again, I'm not going to do hangar decorations at all until actual persistence is there. Now, if we get base building and that ends up being better persistence, especially when you have the land claim and you take the time to build a bunker and you can put those decorations in there, if they're not just relegated to a hangar decoration specifically, but they are a decoration in general, I think that would be cool. I don't mind this. Might be a little tacky, but I don't mind this at all. But I'm going to roll back just a second so I can have him repeat himself, because he was talking about the rewards and how you're going to get them.
All of the rewards without ever firing a shot. And that's really exciting.
Hold on.
Firing a shot.
Dang
And
it.
that's really... And the really cool thing about Supply or Die is because of the 3 different mission types we offer you, you can get all of the rewards without ever firing a shot.
All right, that's actually not bad. Because as somebody who generally avoids PvP, but still does jump around in Pyro here and there doing those missions. Elliot, I like you. There we go. Jumping around in those missions, doing them like I did. Fight for Pyro. I did phase 1. I did phase 2. They were okay, not bad. They had their issues, couldn't quantum to places here and there, but I was able to get them completed, so that's nice. That being said, I do like the fact that you'll be able to get any and all of the rewards without having to go into battle. You will have to, so that tells me from the industrial side of things, you'll have to do, the ship mining or the ship salvaging, get the RMC and get the construction materials, but you're still going to have to take that chance of transporting those goods. So even if you did them in Stanton, I mean, you'll have to go to Pyro to get the mission, come back to Stanton. If you don't want to do it in Pyro, come back to Stanton, go get the amount of RMC and CM that you need, and then you'll have to transport it back into Pyro to deliver it. So you're still going to have to take the chance, no matter what, to deliver those goods to the location that you have to. And that can be heavily time consuming, especially with travel, unloading and loading, and say if you're using a vulture and you're doing panels, unloading and loading and doing this and the other thing. And given past history, I'm assuming that's going to be 6 times you will have to do that. But you do allegedly have the entire month of March. They're extending the fight for Pyro. I mean, I know this is the supplier die event, but they are extending the fight for Pyro into 402, which I thought was a very good move, especially for those who are having more issues than others. I think that's really good, and I like that.
Ever firing a shot, and that's really exciting.
And as one
Jared.
chapter of the continuing fight for Pyro closes, another begins with Alpha 402 Supply or Die. But if you didn't get a chance to finish the February missions, we've extended them through to the end of March. So there's still time to choose your allegiances and secure the future that...
That's good. I know I always mentioned that and talked on it, but they're actually extending it through the entirety of the month of March, which means, you know, today on Thursday, they've already said that today's patch is going to be release client number 3. So more than likely, we're not going to get the live today. I do really still want that dust top helmet that's in the back. Jared ever watches this, which he never will. But if he ever does watch this, I'd really like to. Oh man, I would do very unspeakable things for that for that helmet to sit in the back somewhere. Anyways, moving on. I digress. But I do like the fact that they're extending the fight for Pyro throughout the month of March, which is going to be very good because that tells me further, and I don't want to copium, but it does tell me that they're very confident in the bug squashing and stability that they are building throughout right now. So hopefully that'll continue on.
So there's still time to choose your allegiances and secure the future that Pyro deserves. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the people and process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week on Star Citizen Live.
Oh, hold up.
And secure the future that Pyro deserves. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the people and process of game development with you, and we'll see you all here next week on Star Citizen Live.
We're getting an SCL next week. Nice. So yeah, I don't mind that. It's going to be interesting once it actually drops into 402. Go ahead and like the video because why not? But that being said, that will be my very first React video. I didn't talk as much as I had liked, but here we are. We're going to try it, see what happens. I'm going to have to find a way to edit this tonight. Because, you know, I don't have a direct editor, but here we are. Anyways, thanks for everyone for dealing with me. Turn the alerts off, things like that. We'll get those back on. And then, yeah, we're only expecting a release client number 3 today. So we're not really looking for live. But anyways, yeah.